Great as always to be joined by the Mizzou Director of Athletics, Mike Alden, for one of our chats we have every once in a while. And we've got a lot to talk about as we transition into the winter sports season. It was such a successful fall, from football to volleyball, a championship season indeed for Mizzou this past fall.
Well, it really was. I don't think there's any doubt that if you take a look at what happened with volleyball this year, going 35-1 and having such an unbelievable year this year, Coach Kreklow and our staff and our kids did a terrific job. And I certainly think that bodes well for lots of other things coming up down the line and in the future. And in football, what can you say? You know, you've got a Cotton Bowl victory over Oklahoma State. You finished 12-2, ranked number 5 in the country. Not a bad fall at all, and lots of great things happening at Mizzou. But we're so proud of what took place with our volleyball program, and certainly the great job Coach Pinkel and our staff and our guys did in football this year.
The Cotton Bowl was such an amazing way to wrap up, and going into that experience, everyone told us here at Mizzou that, man, it is as first class an experience as you're going to have at a bowl game. And that crew came through, not only from the Cotton Bowl people, but all the way down to the game, of course, with the victory over Oklahoma State.
You know, they did. And everything we talked about, Ben, is the folks at the Cotton Bowl. And this is Rick Baker, his entire staff. That's the staff of the Cotton Bowl. And then Tommy Bain and all the volunteers, the board, and everybody surrounding the Cotton Bowl make it an extraordinary experience for those people participating and also for our fans. And we always talked about the fact that really is a BCS Bowl. Even though hasn't been labeled in the past a BCS Bowl, it truly is that type of experience. And so the job that they did and the impression that our fans and our students and all of our staff and everybody associated with the Tigers had in that experience is certainly very unique and really special for us for a long time to come.
And that game was really a dry run for the Cotton Bowl people, because next year that game will be the national championship game, the culmination of the first year of the college football playoff. And I know that's something that you're involved in as we get ready for the first season post-BCS era. What's kind of your involvement, and what do you see coming down the line as we go into 2014, the first year with a college football playoff?
Well, certainly a lot of things going on right now in college athletics, one of those being the college football playoff. And so as folks see that roll out next year, they know there are 6 bowls that really make up the college football playoff. And that's the Chick-fil-A Bowl in Atlanta and the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. And then it's the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, and the Orange Bowl, right? And so all 6 of those bowls make up the college football playoff. So the BCS itself did the job it was supposed to do. It helped to try to match up number 1 and 2. Our fans and everybody clamored for a playoff, and certainly this gets us to a playoff type of scenario. And what a fitting way to have the first national championship game played, but at a place that we just played in, which has to do with AT&T Stadium in Arlington, and the Cotton Bowl folks will be involved with that. And so that in itself is a huge shift of what's going on with college football. But more than that, Ben, you know, there's a whole process going on right now really reshaping the governance of the entire NCAA. And those are things that I've been fortunate in some levels to be involved with. In my role is with NAFTA and my role with the athletic directors around the country. And I think that over the course of the next several months, folks will see a reformatted NCAA governance system, which will really be inclusive of all of us in Division I, but we'll hopefully be able to roll that out in August of 2014.
It's something people have been talking about for the better part of a year, maybe even more. What do you think some of the big positive things will we see in the coming months and years as a result of this regovernance?
I think you're going to see the recognition of the fact that really, and this is not to say anything other than 5 conferences in the country are just a little bit different, particularly with regards to resources. And so I think what some of the governance is going to do is going to be able to recognize some of the unique characteristics of those conferences. And that doesn't mean that things are going to be done necessarily different, completely different away from everyone else in Division I. It just gives you an opportunity to have a little bit more flexibility in those leagues, and to me that'll be a pretty major shift. Now, I also think you're going to see the recognition of those 351 schools in all the Division I athletics. All those Division I athletic programs continue to have great access to the championships, continue to share in the revenue that's being distributed the way it has been from the basketball championships. But I think that the change you're going to see is a smaller board of directors. You're going to see athletic directors much more involved, significantly more involved in the governance issues relative to college athletics. And I think that you're going to be able to at least be able to recognize some of the unique characteristics of 5 of those conferences.
For folks who don't know, what are those 5 leagues that share a lot of those same characteristics that need to be set apart?
Well, I think folks would see them be in the SEC, the Big Ten, the ACC, the Big 12, and the Pac-12. I mean, those 5 leagues themselves, because of television contracts and other characteristics of the leagues themselves, their resources are a little bit different. And so there could be some unique things that you're able to do for your student athletes. You can do some unique things relative to, the food services that you provide your kids, and educational opportunities way beyond perhaps the 6-year window that normally you have an opportunity to do for your kids. You're going to get a chance to do a few different types of things. Those would be the discussions you'd have.
This makes you a pretty busy guy, doesn't it?
It has lately. You know, Rocky reminds me. I've been gone quite a bit. My son, and Rocky and I were talking about that when we were together, Jake and I, when we were at the Cotton Bowl. And I just seem to be traveling quite a bit. I'll be in San Diego for the NCAA convention. We've got fundraising efforts down in South Florida. You know, I have other meetings that are coming up. But I think it's a good thing, not necessarily as much for me, myself, but it's great for Mizzou. It's great for Mizzou to be involved in these types of issues, because certainly it gives our institution and our state an opportunity to really kind of help shape some of the future of college sports. So it's pretty cool.
As we wrap up, I'd be remiss if we didn't maybe give an official on-camera welcome to our new chancellor, who's going to be joining us this month and has a new Twitter handle, by the way, @BoTiger. Of course, referring to Dr. Lofton, right?
Well, we're excited about that. You know, Dr. Lofton is going to do a great job for Mizzou, and you know, he's following a guy that's done a really good job for Mizzou too, and Brady Deaton. But Dr. Lofton seems to be a great guy. He and his wife Karen. I know they're going to be starting officially on February the 1st. We're looking forward to working with him. He is great as far as engaging with the students. There's no question about that. He's experienced things at the highest levels of higher education, and certainly at the highest levels of college athletics. And I think he's going to be a great asset to our institution. We're looking forward to he and his wife Karen starting on February 1st.
And again, everybody with Mizzou, he's very interactive. He loves talking to the people, the students, the people who work for him, @BoTiger on Twitter. Look it up. Mike, I know you're busy. Appreciate your time. And good luck with everything that you got on your plate right now.
You got it, Ben. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, and go Tigers. Thank you.
That's Mike Alden, Mizzou's Director of Athletics, as we go through yet another busy season here at the University of Missouri.